This is something I've been playing with for the last couple of weeks here. It's a crate audio system selector. It's a cab selector, so it has stereo inputs in the front and then stereo inputs in the back as well. So I'm going to take a look at that real quick. There's 5 different cabinets coming out of one side of it. There's the speakers in the cab below. Creamback Neo, WGS G12C, Celestion A-Type, and the G12H 30th anniversary, 70th anniversary. But that's the back panel again. So this box is semi-loaded on one side of it. So what I'm running through it right now is my little Fender Frontman 15 head that, cut down the combo into a little head because it sounds really great into full-size cabinets and stuff. It makes a good backup. And so down here we've got the speaker output of that Frontman going into the crate. It's on front panel. It's in mono. Speaker select is an A. Now, when you're in stereo, those 2 banks in the back, it has 8 per side. But since I'm in mono, I can use both banks if I wanted to. And I'll show you what I'm going to do here with this. So I'm running in mono, and I've got 5 speakers on the A select. I've got number 5 selected here. That is actually the same as number 1 here. So what I can do is have, say, the Creamback Neo in this pine cabinet down here that has Creamback Neo in it, and the Creamback Neo on number 1 here. On this selector, Creamback Neo in the pine cab would be number 5. So it's the same here because I'm running in mono once again. So number 1 here is the same as number 5 here. So I can just A-B those 2 Creambacks. I can bypass the rest of the speakers in the cabs and just hear the 2. It's clever, huh? So I'm going to run a clean tone and the breakup tone, the dirty tone, which it gains up real fast on these things. Not the best amp you're ever going to hear, but since this is currently unloaded, I can flip through it without turning the amp off, where if I was running one of my tube amps, I'd have to turn it off or put it on standby every time to do that. So for the ease, and this certainly, the Frontman certainly, you'll hear it in clean tones and dirty tones, how dramatic a speaker difference is and how dramatic a cabinet difference is. So let's take a listen, huh? Now I'll call out the speakers as I'm switching them because you're not going to be able to see too well, but I want you to, hear well that these are all kind of on the same plane coming off the cabs. And this thing's quite loud. The Fender Frontman 15 is no joke. It's this one from the 80s or 90s with the steel grill, the black steel grill. It's really no joke. It's kind of a decent amp. Right now it's just barely cracked. Just barely cracked. Let's go for the clean tone first. This is a humbucking guitar with PAFs in it. That's the neck, bridge. Now, I'm currently on number 1. This is the Creamback Neo up here in this 412 open back cab. Number 2 is the Celestion A-Type. Number 3, this is a G12H anniversary. The Celestion G12H anniversary. Number 4 here is the WGS G12C. as number 1, the Neo, Creamback Neo, but in the pine cab down there. Now I'm going to A-B between the Creamback Neo that's down there and the one that's up here in the 412 open back cab. You can hear how much difference a cabinet makes. Now to the Creamback up here. Back to the pine cab. Up top. Back to the pine cab. Big influence on the speaker. So once again, Creamback Neo, A-Type, Anniversary, Warehouse, and now the Creamback in the Neo, in the pine cab. So I'm going to go to the dirty channel here, just put on the bridge pickup, and this will once again be the Creamback Neo up here in the 412. A-Type, Anniversary, Warehouse, and the Neo in the pine cabinet. Big differences. Hopefully it comes across that way in the video. And right now I'm going to A-B between the Creamback Neo in the pine cab and the Creamback Neo up here in the open back 412. First, the 412. Pine cab. Listen to the difference it makes on lead tones. Up here in the 412, real tight for rhythm, but I think it's a little saucier for lead in the pine cab. Here's the 412. To the pine cab. Got a nice voice to it, doesn't it? Back to the 412. And those are the same speaker. That's just the difference cab makes. I don't know if I covered everything there. You know, it is what it is. It's the Fender Frontman. I'm just using that as an example. But let's try the neck pickup lead tone. And I'll go starting with the Creamback Neo up here. A-Type. Anniversary. WGS. And then the Neo in the pine cab. Quite a bit of difference, huh? Also, the big difference in volume. The Celestion A-Type, probably the least efficient of these speakers, the least volume. Creamback Neo, second. The Anniversary, a bit louder. And then the Warehouse in the same ballpark. Both the G12H 70th Anniversary Celestion and the WGS G12CS, both loud and aggressive speakers. Yeah. You know, if you have any questions, in the comments, feel free. Um, yeah, these are the speakers that I currently have. I hope to expand this so it can go through 8, 10 speakers at the same time with one amp. Um, with my Fender Champ, I know I like the Creamback Neo, and I have a Weber El Nico that I really like with it, and it kind of shines with those. The same with the Gibson Skylark and the Epiphone Pacemaker. They have a lot of mid-range to them, and they really shine in that scooped Weber El Nico speaker, the low wattage amps with a lot of mid-range. Same with the Fender Champ. I really like it into the Weber. Not so much with all these, and it's to each its own on amps, guitars, and speakers. It really is 50%, in my opinion, of your overall sound, the speaker cab and the speaker itself. But it's one of those things. Either you have two identical amps, two identical cabinets, or you're doing recordings where you're changing your speaker out and getting back to it with hoping you have the same mic placement and all that kind of stuff. Whereas with this switcher, and I know there's a lot of them out there. This is kind of a primitive one. This old crate made by SLM Electronics. But it's truly the best way and the only way to know if that speaker is the right speaker for you in your amp. People that live around here are welcome to come by and put their own speakers into the cabinets and switch it themselves if they like. It's a really great, useful tool. And I hope that was helpful to you. And have a great weekend.